So most games are trying to kill you. Dead Space is trying to scare you and then kill you.
What makes for good horror is what makes it good for any genre, which is a good story.
You know, any good story, any kind of good story will suck you in. Whether it's a book, a film, or a computer game, it will suck you in.
You can dress it up with whistles and bells, but at the core, I think, is the storytelling.
If they're going to have any kind of long-term life, they need to have a good backstory.
You know, out of all my years of covering games, I seldom seen a game right out of the gate have so much built around it. They said, hey, let's do an animated prequel for this. Let's do a comic book. Let's build, you know, the entire lore of the Dead Space universe.
The comic book and the animated feature, you know, they weren't plans from the beginning. We just realized, wow, we got a really big story to tell.
But we had made all the story for the game, and then we put the game in, and we're like, wow, we still have all the story left. Let's go finish telling this.
Dead Space is set about 500 years from now. It's 2414 specifically. And mankind has sort of been gradually using up resources and searching out into the stars to be able to fill that need. And what they've developed is sort of mining on an unimaginable scale to where they basically crack open planets and consume the resources within.
In our future, it's not Star Trek. It's not this big, safe, executive ship with like carpeting and lights and, you know, happy computers that tell you what to do. It's none of that, right? It's this terribly fragile oil rig in space.
The Ishimura is a planet cracker, which means it stays in orbit about a year or two over this planet, and it just systematically takes pieces from the planet and tears it apart.
You know, the Earth's like lost all its... We've depleted the Earth of everything. Like, kind of like, we'll probably be in that ship like, you know, 2010.
What happens is that there's a planet that they've been mining, and there's a colony down there, and the colony had found something.
So the marker's kind of an artifact that the miners got directed to go get, which is kind of a very alien twist, right? Because you have like the big company going, oh, go check that out, let us know how it turns out, and then everybody dies.
And so the last thing that is found out on Earth is that they've just lost contact with the Ishimura.
Never heard of a total communications blackout on one of these things. You'd think with 1,000 people on board, someone would pick up the phone.
You get a distress call and you think you're going to go there to repair the place. Turns out the entire thing is just wasted.
Essentially the story of Isaac, this lone engineer who has been sent out to this ship to fix what he thinks is a very simple, maybe communications blackout.
He actually volunteers to go because his girlfriend is actually on the ship, and he hasn't heard from her in a while, and the last thing he did hear from her is he's got this video log that's a little odd.
Isaac, it's me. I'm sorry about everything. I wish I could just talk to someone. It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening.
Part of what we wanted to do in this game was show the effects of these events. You see people traumatized in this game.
He's here. Nothing to be afraid of.
You see people who have lost all hope. You see people that have gone completely insane.
Got it! Isaac, get the hell out of there!
Isaac Clarke is our everyman protagonist. He is kind of in the traditional role of horror movie protagonist.
He's smart and athletic, but not a super soldier, not a computer scientist.
It's just a man. Just a guy. He doesn't have any superpowers. And best of all, he's not even a soldier.
He has to rise above his comfort zone. He's trapped in a situation that he has very limited control over. He doesn't want to be there. But if he's not going to fix things, no one else is.
Even if you look at comic books, if you look at the successful films based on comic books, people see themselves in their heroes.
As logical as this sound, you know, the audience really relate to a character like that.
We didn't want to have a standard video game character, some big testosterone overloaded dude with a bunch of guns that's, you know, you immediately don't really feel afraid with this guy around. You actually feel safe with this guy around.
It just wouldn't be a good sci-fi storyline if mankind's greed did not drive us to unleash our deepest, darkest monsters, I guess.
The game is all about, we've run out of natural resources on Earth, we've got to go to these other planets and crack them and take all their valuable minerals, and that's, you know, there's a life lesson in that. use up natural resources, don't recycle, everyone turns into zombies.
Necromorph is actually the reanimated flesh of a human.
It sort of spells it out for itself, doesn't it? Dead change. Necro for dead, morph for change. So you change when you're dead.
There's two explanations for Necromorph. Long version is it's part of this alien virus that kind of comes out of the planet when people start cracking it open. Short version, it's space zombie.
So basically, Dead Space is using sort of zombie lore and zombie canon in our own way. With the reanimated flesh of the dead crew, we're sort of invoking very traditional zombie ideas.
A zombie is a machine. It's a biological guided weapon. That is what's terrible.
They don't have a breaking point, and they will keep going because they're not actually human.
Zombies. What up?
The infection that's taken over the Ishimura and the colony only happens on dead flesh. So everything that you're fighting was once a living human, and apparently at the moment of death, it has been grotesquely converted into what you're seeing.
The coolest thing about the necromorphs is that they're not traditional zombies. You have to learn about them. You have to figure out what they are and how to kill them.
They have a purpose behind it, that they want to use you in a way that's not right, that adds another layer of like intimacy and wrongness and relationship to the whole thing that makes it so much more scarier than mindless killers.
Scott's got to go save his girlfriend from necromorphs. Like, there's so many other girls. You know what I mean? Like, she wasn't that hot. Break up with her, dude. They're necromorphs. You know?